Sometimes I feel like a card gets reprinted and nobody tells me, so that's why I'm making this video to tell all you kind folks about some list reprints you might not know exist. So, probably a lot like you guys, I spend a fair amount of time on TCG Player looking at cards. I'm dreaming of a better future for all the children out there, where cards rain down from the sky like, well, rain. Imagine all the cherubic upturned faces as cards rain into their eyes and open mouths. Okay, well actually that's kind of terrifying, but while I'm browsing I come across some surprising deals you enterprising young card hoarders might want to take advantage of. As always, if you find anything useful in this video, subscribe, leave a comment, and if you want to support the channel, buy me a coffee at the link in the description, buddy. So yeah, man, I'm scouring the internet for reprints outside of normal sets. I'm talking about list printing, mystery boosters, weird under the radar promos, and here's a collection of some noteworthy commander cards that I remember being way more expensive than they are right now. Some of these I'm picking up for decks or for future decks, and if you see any you like, maybe you want to pick them up, I don't know. This is the card that kicked off this whole video for me. I was looking for one of these things and surprised to find a mystery booster printing that was about $5. Sakashima the Imposter, 2 blue for a legendary creature, human rogue, it's a 3/1. You may have this guy enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except its name is Sakashima the Imposter, it's legendary in addition to its other types, and it has 2 blue. Return this creature to owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. This is the ultimate clone, at least it used to be. RK Post is one of my favorite MTG artists and did the art for Avatar, Woe, and all those guys. So, if your commander is central to your deck design, it's usually beneficial to have another copy, right? That's why Spark Double is $10, Irenica's Vile Duplication, an uncommon, is $3 to $5, and Sakashima of 1,000 Faces is $25, although that has a bit more added text and kind of replaced this guy as the penultimate clone. This peaked at close to $30 and is $5 currently, and that seems like a great price for it. There's a secret layer and a mystery booster printing, and that's not a bad cost for this effect. When they told Heather Hudson to paint this guy, they said, listen, the art direction is just, there's a hot dude in the woods. We got Hermit Druid, 1 in green for a creature, human druid, it's a 1/1. Has green and tap, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a basic land card. Put that card into your hand and all the other cards revealed this way into your graveyard. This guy got a list printing and the price seems to be a little depressed for all versions at about $10 or so. This guy's a house in any deck where you want to feed your own graveyard and is a bit lower than I'm used to seeing it. Alright, now we're going to talk about the Goldspan Dragon. 3 red for a creature dragon, it's a 4/4 with flying and haste. Whenever this guy attacks or becomes the target of a spell, create a treasure token. Treasures you control have tap, sacrifice this artifact, add 2 mana of any one color. This is incredibly pushed, so much value here. This was as high as $40 after the first printing and call time, while 2 recent reprints have knocked it down to sub $10. That's pretty insane for this card, and is a great centerpiece for a treasure deck. It's a lot of mana, brother. Sometimes when I go to bed at night, I like to pretend that Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, is giving me a little kiss on the forehead. It's 1 green for a legendary creature, Elder Giant, it's a 6/6. When this guy enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless it escaped. Whenever Uro enters the battlefield or attacks, you gain 3 life, you draw a card, then you put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Has escape for green, blue. Exile 5 other cards from your graveyard. I don't know what the heck deck I'd put this in, but it got a list reprint, so if you need one, it's down to about $10. This looks like something you'd wear at a Balenciaga fashion show. You got Helm of the Host, 4 generic mana for a legendary artifact equipment. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a token that's a copy of equipped creature, except the token isn't legendary, token gains haste. Has equipped for 5. This has a list printing and a recent reprint in the Brothers War Retro Frame Artifacts. This is a great card for $6 or so. This thing peaked at $25. It's even better if you have a combo involved or some ETB that you're copying. This guy wins the Buff Boy contest. Dragonlord, Atarka, 5 red and green for a legendary creature, Elder Dragon, it's an 8/8 with flying and trample. When the Dragonlord enters the battlefield, it deals 5 damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers your opponents control. This is an 8/8 with flamp stamps that pops in and deals 5 damage, sweeping the board a little bit. This is nothing to sneeze at. Sneeze at your own peril at this guy. While this was never a hugely pricey card, the current price for sub $7 is enticing. Everybody wants their own evil twin. You got Splinter Twin, 2 red for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature has tap, create a token that's a copy of this creature except it has haste. Exile the token at the beginning of the next end step. This has just a ton of combo potential, and if you're reusing ETB effects, you're doing great on this. You can get this for $5 and change right now, and I'm used to seeing it a lot higher than that. Then you got the old fancy horse. Crested Sunmare's 3 white for a creature horse, it's a 5/5. Other horses you control have indestructible. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain life this turn, create a 5/5 white horse creature token. The old Sunmare dude, this peaked at about twice its current price at $10, about $5 right now. This is nothing to be sneezed at in a life gain deck. Works at each end step, so if you can gain a little life on the old stepsister's turn, you get a dang token. Noxious Revival. It's a green Phyrexian mana for an instant. Put target card from a graveyard on top of its owner's library. This peaked at over $10, down to about $3 or so, very affordable. This can be a free spell to get your remove threat back from the graveyard. You need that combo piece back that somebody just killed? Get it back, buddy. You can also instantly screw up an opponent's reanimation target. This is a very flexible, great card for about $3. Look at this guy blasting flames all over the place. Tiamat, 2 white, blue, black, red, and a green for a legendary creature, Dragon God. It's a 7/7 with flying. When this guy enters the battlefield, if you cast it, search your library for up to 5 dragon cards not named Tiamat that each have different names, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle. This thing is a little overhyped in my opinion. Started at about $20, but thanks to a list reprint is under $5 right now. I've always thought this was just a little overrated, but if you want one, $5 is not a bad deal for your dragon decks. Have you ever seen this card, dude? Awakening, 2 green for an enchantment. At the beginning of each upkeep, untap all creatures and lands. Has a list reprint, about $5. I never knew this card existed, and I'm surprised I didn't know about Eladamri's Fat Elvis stage. How about the old Bane of Progress, dude? This guy's hanging out with Bane from Batman. 4 green for a creature elemental to 2/2. When Bane of Progress enters the battlefield, destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Put a +1/+1 counter on Bane of Progress for each permanent destroyed this way. This is fantastic in a creature-based deck. This had a high of about $9, and has come down quite a bit. Look at this guy, looks like he just came back from the St. Patrick's Day parade. You got Noxious Ghoul, 3 black for a creature zombie, it's a 3/3. Whenever this guy or another zombie enters the battlefield, all non-zombie creatures get -1/-1 until end of turn. So the big thing with zombies you want to do is you want to reanimate a bunch at the same time or put a bunch onto the battlefield. This is an asymmetrical sweeper in a zombie deck. It's kind of a win condition. All-time high at $13, list versions are selling as low as $3. Look at this guy, he's so happy his package from Wish.com finally made it through customs. You got Collector Oof, 1 green for a creature, an Oof. I don't know if it's a Oof or Oofy, but listen man, I don't really care. Activated abilities of artifacts can't be activated, and that's no abilities of artifacts, including mana abilities. This doesn't do much for you, right? It just kind of sits out there. But in a creature-based deck, this shuts off treasures, it shuts off clues, it shuts off soul rings, a bunch of other things. This guy reminds me of Elon Musk. This is what his soul looks like, dude. This guy has an all-time high of $14, can be had right now for $3.50. I heard this guy spends a lot of time on Craigslist. You got Crick, son of Yawgmoth. He's got 4 and 3 black Phyrexian for a legendary creature Phyrexian horror minion. It's 2/2 with lifelink. For each black in a cost, you may pay 2 life rather than pay that mana. Whenever you cast a black spell, put a +1/+1 counter on this guy. So it's immensely powerful, insanely synergistic with so many things. Crick is a powerful addition to your black-centered commander decks. If this sticks around, it's lights out for your opponents. He's errated to be a Phyrexian as well. Right now, due to a couple reprints in various secret layers and the list, Crick can be had for less than $5. Well, after doing this video, I got a couple orders to look forward to. I love finding steals and deals and lesser publicized reprints. I feel thrifty when I get one of these for cheap. Goldspan Dragon for sub $10 shipped feels pretty good to me, and I want you all to share in that glorious feeling. I know I make a ton of videos, but I don't spend that much money on cardboard. I prefer to wait for a bottom if I can find it, and then basically stick that thing later in a deck. Keep cool, cats and oofs. This is Nick G from Better Commander, signing off.